What's up? Thanks for tuning in to the Wildcaster postgame. He's Justin Spears, I'm Alec White, and we're fresh off Arizona Wildcats getting some sweet revenge. They say a revenge is a dish best served cold. Arizona was hot in this game.
I love it.
Tell me why they were hot today, Justin.
They kind of found an offensive rhythm early on. Azuolas Tubelis, even though he was still battling that ankle injury, he looked like the Tubelis from old, and they really got him involved right away. And shooting-wise, Arizona, against UCLA, they shot 31%, and then as a team tonight, what did they finish with?
Tonight they shot over close to 50.
Yeah, and so when you have better shooting, it felt like there weren't lids on the rims tonight. So three-point shooting, I know Kerr Kriisa, he was the X factor for tonight's game because last game he went 0 for 12. Now, he didn't have his best shooting night tonight. He went 4 for 14. But when you get a couple of threes and that sparks some energy, and you have your starting point guard playing with some confidence, especially in a game when UCLA's got a guy like Tiger Campbell on the other side, that just goes through Arizona and it really energizes this team. So I thought Azuolas Tubelis had a great game. I thought, Kerr Kriisa, for what he did, was very solid. Ben Mathurin, the block that he had.
Just some spectacular highlight level,
amazing.
NBA level plays.
It was amazing. And it was, back and forth there for a little while, then Arizona was able to pull away. But one thing that really has been exciting for Arizona, or a positive development, is their free throw shooting. Against ASU most recently, they didn't shoot the ball that well. They only shot 32%, but they went to the line 32 times. Mm-hmm. Tonight you had Christian Koloko knocking down free throws in crunch time. Kerr Kriisa, Umar Ballo was also getting to the free throw line. So, it was kind of like last game where they didn't shoot well, so they went to the free throw line. This time around, they shot a little bit better, and they still managed to be aggressive and get to the free throw line. So all in all, I thought it was a good performance for Arizona.
And I got a chance to be in Mick Cronin's post-game press conference right out here in McHale in the hallways, and he was asked about what did Arizona do differently, because just 9 days ago we saw UCLA control the game pretty much for 35 of the 40 minutes against Arizona. And Mick Cronin said Arizona's inside game really gave UCLA some trouble. And it was disappointing for Mick Cronin because the Bruins prepared for this, all leading up to this game all week. The Bruins knew Arizona was going to try to go inside, going to try to go to Tubelis to try to get shots close to the rim, because what was happening in the first matches, Arizona was just settling. So Mick Cronin said he was disappointed with the fact that Arizona was able to control that part of the game, even though UCLA knew it was coming.
Yeah, and there were some times where I would look at certain lineups where I'm like, Umar Ballo and Christian Koloko, we've seen these two guys play at the same time before, but
it's always been against a lower level team,
exactly.
Non-conference opponent.
And so when you look up at the clock and you're like, well, UCLA is kind of cutting into Arizona's deficit, and they're still rolling out Umar Ballo and Christian Koloko, and then right off the bat, UCLA, they take it inside, and both those guys swarmed, and UCLA really didn't have any clean looks at the rim.
Yeah.
And when you're allowing teams to beat you shooting from the outside, it's like the old saying, you live by the three, you die by the three. Arizona was really pushing UCLA to shoot outside and not get inside the paint. And I think finally Arizona's front court looked like the top front court in the Pac-12.
Came together. Bruins shot 3 of 14 from three-point range, and then they finished shooting 39%. That was their fifth worst shooting percentage of the season, so definitely some adjustments from Arizona. And then something that I thought really elevated Arizona tonight was the play of Kerr Kriisa, like you were talking about. I don't think there's a player on Arizona's roster outside of Ben Mathurin that brings Arizona to its ceiling more than Kerr Kriisa does, because he doesn't have to be hitting every shot, but when he's knocking down clutch shots like he did at certain times of the game, he really adds that extra element to Arizona. You can see it because it helps everybody else around him.
Yeah, and Kerr Kriisa, it's kind of funny. Where I brought up, shooting 4 for 14. Tommy Lloyd said, it wasn't his best shooting night, but the UCLA game last week, it gave him some battle scars. Yeah. He allowed him to become kind of like a grizzled veteran. And one thing about Kerr is that he's going to have a night where the shot may not be falling in as much as he'd like it to. But, man, if he's got a clean look late in the game, he's not afraid to pull up. And there was a three-pointer late in tonight's game where it was pretty much like the dagger three-pointer, and that's pretty much what put UCLA away. So for him to go 0 for 12 and then turn around, have a pretty solid game, he got Tiger Campbell to foul out too, another underrated element to the game. I know that, you know, it took until 1 minute and a half left for him to foul out, but, you know, Tiger Campbell getting frustrated, and there was a lot of frustrated fouls that he had. And Tiger Campbell's really been a thorn in Arizona's side for the last couple of years, and a big part of getting him frustrated and getting him out of his game tonight was the job by Kirk Kriisa.
And I think this was just a fun game from a coaching perspective. I recorded this game. I'm going to go home and tomorrow, turn it back on, rewatch it, just for fun, because I think the way Tommy Lloyd and Mick Cronin kind of mixed and matched what they did and went head-to-head in their coaching styles, it was just really fun to see how both teams changed their styles throughout the game, how they adapted to one another. It was just a really high-level basketball game.
It was. And you know what? Give me this in March.
Yeah.
Give me this
in Las Vegas.
At T-Mobile Arena, Pac-12 title game. The Pac-12 conference really needs this to happen in the month of March. And these two teams, and I'm just kind of glad that Arizona won, in the sense that, you know, we don't get to hear about the Wildcats trying to get this monkey off their back, right? They finally snapped the losing streak to UCLA, and it kind of feels like it gives this old rivalry a nice little shot in the arm. And like I said, hopefully we just get to see this in March.
Yeah, first win against the Bruins in McHale since 2015. It's been a while.
It's been a minute. Well, actually, the 2015-16 season. The last time Arizona beat UCLA in McHale Center, one of their assistant coaches was playing for the Wildcats, Ryan Anderson, who's now a graduate assistant now. So it's been a minute, and it was a long time coming for Arizona.
All right, sold out crowd from McHale Center tonight. It's going to be that way probably on Saturday when Arizona plays USC. Another top 25 matchup in McHale. That's what you sign up for this time of year. And then Monday, they head to ASU. We're both going to be at those matchups, so make sure you follow all of our content on the Wildcast. We're going to be pumping out articles on Tucson.com and some podcasts. So,
and we're going to see that billboard on the way up.
We are.
To Tempe on Monday.
So I'm Alec White. He's Justin Spears. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys Saturday.